Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol DNAI. That's ProNAi Therapeutics Incorporated. The chart we have today is a 4-hour chart. Each candle on this chart representing 4 hours of trading. So we go back a handful of months. I'm actually not very familiar with this stock. It was actually requested by Mark30 on StockTwits, so shout out to Mark30. And this stock is actually looking pretty good to me. I'm surprised I haven't heard of it before. That said, on the one-day chart, this thing has been downtrending for a long time, but it is starting to look good again. So why am I saying it's looking good again? We're going to discuss that right now. 3 main areas to take a look at based on this historical data: $7.50, $6.90, and $6 even. Those are my 3 pivot points for this stock. 3 main pivot points. Let's take a look at why that is. So $7.50, we were testing here as a bit of a double top, and we did get denied really hard off that second test. Indeed, falling all the way back down to $6 before bouncing back to $6.90. It held those levels for almost a day or so, but it couldn't quite hold it. Fell back down to $6, bounced right back up to $6.90, where it held that area for a while between $6.90 and $7, but it couldn't hold it. A few days later, fell right back down. Didn't quite hit 6 before trying to leg back up again, but indeed, the pressure from selling was too much, and it hit $6. It did bounce off $6, but it just couldn't hold those levels, and it had a major falling off from 6 all the way down to about $4.48 within the course of a few weeks. Now, after that low of $4.48, we tested it 8 hours later on the wick of that candle, but after that, we never came close to testing it again. Ever since $4.48, it's been making higher lows all day, up until it reached $6 again. Now, right when it hit $6, it did get denied a little bit. It didn't break it right away. But once it did break it, it ran all the way to that next pivot point at $6.90. Super bullish. However, the bulls weren't winning the whole fight. Though it went to $6.90 fairly easily, it got denied and fell right back to $6. And actually, after a few hours of trading, not only did it fall to $6, but it broke all the way down to about $5.60 before pushing back up, trying to break $6.90 again, and getting denied very hard once again. This candle, high of that candle, $6.90, closing all the way back down at $6.20. Very hard denial there indeed. And ever since that happened, we have not tested $6.90 again. So with that all being said, why am I still saying that this chart looks good? Well, a few reasons specifically, and before I get into those reasons, let me also show you one other negative indicator on this chart. If we go to where we went oversold on our relative strength index from overbought, our last 2 oversold points from overbought, you can see that we're actually in a relative strength index oversold downtrend, so that's not good. That is not a good indicator to see. However, the reason why I think this chart is starting to look good again is because, ironically enough, the relative strength index down here at the bottom, you can see we are actually above our 20 line again. Now, 20 to 80 is no man's land, but when you break above 20, that's when we can start really getting bullish again. And as soon as we break above the 80 line, that's when we can see this thing start to run. Let's take a look at where we were overbought in the past. You can see this entire time we were overbought, we went on a very nice uptrend indeed. So the fact that our relative strength index is no longer oversold and bearish, but it's trying to leg up, it's already broken above the 20 line. We just need to get out of no man's land and break above the 80 line to go into full bullish mode. So it's well on its way to looking bullish. Not only that, but our moving averages are actually looking really nice. We have the 50 period yellow, the 20 period green, 13 period purple, all in the perfect pattern. Fast moving averages above the slow moving averages, and this last candle closing at about $6.50, still above all our moving averages. So that's looking really good. It's looking for a really high probability of testing $6.90 again. Now, I'm speaking entirely on a technical analysis level. Mark30 did indeed inform me that there is phase 2 news coming out on Monday for the stock, and I would like to just give a disclaimer that I am very new to this ticker. I've never studied this stock fundamentally before, so I have no idea what the phase 2 is about. I don't know what their pipeline's about. I'm strictly doing this analysis on a technical analysis perspective. And based solely on the chart and no fundamentals at all, I think there's a very high probability that this stock pushes back up to $6.90. Now, if it does break $6.90, you're looking at resistance at $7.50, which isn't too far off. It's about 8% away from 690. So keep that in mind. Even if it does break 690, you're going to have resistance at 750, not too far off. So there's a good chance that if it does break 690, it will channel between the two and make that its new channel until either breaking to the upside or the downside. Now, keep in mind that we do have those potential phase 2 results on Monday. So that said, if the results are positive, for all I know, this thing just blows right past $6.90 and $7.50. And if it fails, for all I know, it might just die and break below $6 and go to this low of 448 again. So once again, that is on a fundamental level, and this is a strictly technical analysis video you're watching. So on a technical analysis perspective, my sentiments on this stock are bullish for the short term. I really think there's a high chance it tests $6.90. I'm not so confident that it'll break $6.90. And if it does break $6.90, I think that indeed it will get denied at $7.50. I don't think there's a high chance of it breaking $7.50 at all. Even if it breaks above $6.90, I'm going to tell you that in my opinion, I could see it getting denied at $7.50 just based on the fact that over here and even further back on the chart that we can't see, it actually got denied many times at $7.50. So very hard resistance at $7.50. I think that it tests $6.90. And if it does break $6.90, it'll get denied at $7.50. That's really all I have to say about DNAI. I don't know if I'm going to be playing those phase 2 results on Monday, but of course I am a biotech fan, and anytime you mention phase 2, phase 3 results, I'm going to be watching that stock like a hawk. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out on the stock. Now, it's hard for me to really give advice on how to play that on Monday since we still have tomorrow, Friday, as a trading day. So let's see what this stock does tomorrow on Friday. Most likely I'll make another analysis updating these pivot points, but I think it's safe to say that there's a good chance it pushes to 690 tomorrow. So let's see what it does tomorrow, and I'll update this analysis. I hope this video helped you guys out. I know I didn't give too much information on what I can expect from the stock, but for the short term, I think we're looking at a test of 690. That said, there's not much else to take a look at. I'm going to wrap this video up. Any questions, leave a comment below. And just to reiterate, I'll most likely be updating this analysis tomorrow. And if I don't get to it tomorrow, I'll update it over the weekend based on the data that we have from Friday. So thanks, Mark30, for pointing this stock out to me. I've never seen this ticker before. It's a very interesting stock. I'm going to be following it this weekend, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one.